Hey, welcome back. I hope you guys had a great time with your friends and your family. Enjoyed that time together in this past season.
I know we did.
Yes, we did. Absolutely.
All right, so today's testimonies, well, for some they might be considered smaller, right? But for me, these were big testimonies at those times because it really showed me God was listening and was speaking back to me. And so these testimonies are kind of encourage you or challenge you to really seek God coming into this year. So let me share them first and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So about 2 years ago or whatever, I was really talking to God, really seeking him. I believe this was a time of fasting as well, and just really listening for him to respond however he wants to. I mean, we would love God to respond audibly all the time because that would be amazing, but
Yes.
he doesn't usually do that.
Nope.
I personally find, he does use people as well, but I often can see him speaking through his creation, which is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
But anyways, I was on my front porch in Kentucky in my rocking chair just talking to God, and it's a covered porch, and here comes this feather just like gently flowing in with the wind, however you want to say that. And I'm looking at it and thinking, wow, that came from nowhere. Lord, if this is from you, let it land on me. And my hand was right there on the railing or the armrest of the chair. And here it goes, and it lands right on my wrist.
Wow.
And stops. And I'm like, all right, that was God for sure. I actually kept the feather.
Yeah, that's neat.
Because it told me God was listening.
Mm-hmm.
And so many times in the Bible, the birds show how God provides. I can think of a couple things, but I won't go into all that. But it immediately spoke to me and said, God cares for me. He's listening, and he's going to provide in this season while I was seeking him about something. And it was so amazing that I got a ring. You can't probably see it, but there's a feather on this ring. And so I wear it all the time because every time I look at it, I know that God is listening, but am I listening back for him? And am I seeking him? Mm-hmm. So that's my first testimony to challenge you. My other one was on my birthday, also in Kentucky. And in the morning, I went out on the back deck, and it was still dark out. The stars were all in the sky. It was beautiful, right? And so I'm just looking up at those stars thinking, oh, you're so awesome, God. They're so beautiful. And so I quoted from Psalms 8, a verse I was meditating and memorizing at the time. I said, when I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have ordained, what is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you visit him? For you have made him a little lower than the angels, and you have crowned him with glory and honor. And
beautiful.
I know, I love that verse or chapter. Immediately after that, a star came shooting in the sky.
Wow.
I almost started crying. I was like, oh, that was the best birthday present you could have gave me. Because it was like he was showing off, right? I'm just telling him how awesome he is. Then poof, well, let me show you something else.
Yeah, that's so unusual, a shooting star. You have to be really concentrating, and he did it at a time that you were thinking of that very verse.
Mm-hmm. I was only out there for like 3 minutes, but
wow.
when it happened at just that time, and it was perfect. And
that's beautiful.
So anyway, those two smaller testimonies, whatever, are just showing you, but those were both times that I was seeking God, but it shows you that he responds, right?
Yes.
But it's hard for him to respond if we're not listening, if we're not trying to see what he's telling us, if we're just going about with our busy little lives and completely missing him because we're too busy with our own stuff. Mm-hmm. So going into this year, 2026, our challenge for you is to seek God, ask him what he wants from you. And it's going to be a blessing. You want to bless him, right? You want to honor and obey him, but it ends up being a blessing to you as well.
Correct.
But just ask God to speak to you. And with that, we are challenging you to fast.
Mm-hmm.
We personally like 21-day fasts, but you can do a 3-day fast. You can do a 40-day fast,
Yeah.
whatever you feel is right for you. And usually there's food involved. You know, I wouldn't recommend going 40 days with no food. Some people can go 3 or whatever, more. But maybe it's giving up something you really enjoy, like sweets or breads or whatever. Maybe it's giving up 1 meal a day for a certain amount of days. Even ask God what he wants you to fast from. But it just shows you that, it shows God that you're seeking him. And it reminds you to constantly be talking to him and praying for him. And
well, I think the other thing that you had mentioned before too is that if you do choose like to give up a meal, well then during that time you would normally be eating, then getting his word or just spend time praying with God and talking with him. I know last week I had a shirt on and Rochelle really liked it because instead of saying God bless America, it said may we the people bless God in America, because we ask for blessings, but we can actually be a blessing to God. And I think that's why he showed you the feather and the shooting star, because you were blessing him by seeking him and by admiring what his world that he created looks like and how beautiful it is. And it's just where, you know, I was just thinking, and I think it was just this past Sunday at my daughter's church, then the pastor had said, if you want to find wisdom, look in nature. God is all over the place, and his wisdom, what he chose to do, created this world. It's everywhere. It's beautiful. And I think when like for one of my verses during our 21-day fast is in Psalm 32 verse 8, God says, I will instruct you and teach you. I will counsel you and look over you with my eye upon you. And I just think that that is a beautiful verse. Like, we are not alone. And your short testimonies show he really is there and he really does listen. And another thing we'd like to do is ask the Lord, what would you like us to do in 2026? How can we impact those around us more? How can we show our Father to others more? How can we be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ our Lord through 2026? And so I just think that was it's pick a verse that you can maybe keep as your fasting verse, and then each day I would say journal something down. It might be something you read, like for me, Gideon, who was doing a wine press underground because they kept getting attacked by enemies, became a warrior. Okay, God called him out to be a warrior, and he was nothing. He was the nobodies of the world, right? And I think that was really neat. But then there was another one as I was looking at one of my past fasts I had done, and my son had said to me, well, we talk about taking the Lord's name in vain and not to do it, but what about the politicians that use his name in order to advance their own agenda? And I thought, wow, that's very true. That's taking God's name in vain as well. So these little things that you might catch each day, something you read in his word, something somebody said to you, just write it down each day of your fast.
Yep. And my pastor in Kentucky would always say, hey, fasting, if you're just fasting food and you're not spending more time with the Lord, it's just a diet change, right?
Never looked at that, but it's true.
Yes. So this is not about some sort of weight, health, anything like that. This is about, I am seeking you, God. I want to know what you want for my life. I trust you. I know you. Just speak to me. Just talk to me in the way you know how. And he will respond. And another thing for us younger generation that might be a little on their social media, a little too much. You know what I mean. Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Well, if you maybe give that up during this fast, and instead of every time you go for your phone, you want to go for that social media. Well, how about instead you have the Bible app, which is cheap and free, or not cheap, it's free.
Yeah.
Easy to get on your phone if you don't have it. And you just, Psalms are always really encouraging. You know, I always love like Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Those are all about Jesus's life. Those are all great places to go. So instead of going on that social media, maybe do that. Just make sure you're spending extra time talking to God and in his word, because that is the point of the fast. And that's when you're going to more likely hear from him, because you're positioned to hear from him.
Yes. Yes.
One verse that I wanted to mention that I am focusing on during this fast is Matthew 7:7-11. Ask, and it will be given to you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened. Or what man is there among you who, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him?
Yeah.
And that picture, that Greek of the asking and the seeking and the knocking, that's not like a one-time thing. That suggests a continued petition. You're continually asking, you're continually speaking, you're asking, you're seeking him with an attitude of trust in your Father, knowing that he's going to answer.
Yes. So that is our challenge to you. We'd love to hear back from you. I know for like on your Facebook and the different areas where these testimonies are shared, give back maybe send back something that you recognized during your fast. If you have a testimony that you would like to share, we would love to have you either do a testimony with us, or you can even send in the testimony, whatever the case may be. We would love to hear from you. So happy fasting.
Absolutely. And I am going to finish with something you said earlier, that fasting, you're giving up.
Oh, yes. You set aside the physical to achieve the spiritual. And with that, there were 4 things along with what you pray each day, would be, help me to grow spiritually. May I deepen my faith. Help me to deepen my faith. May I hunger for righteousness, and help me to grow and draw closer to you, our Father. And so that is something that I think is also very important. And so, yes, set aside the physical in order to achieve the spiritual.
Amen to that.